Our team decided to use the term math clinic because when we go to the doctor, one of the first things he or she does is take our temperature and our pulse. So the same thing when we work with students. We really want to see which areas we need to work on. So we came up with this quick, sustainable assessment tool. We gathered together as our team and we took the Common Core standards and we broke them down into student-friendly terms that we can quickly point to. A child can tell us information, and we can see how they process this information. And then we can transfer that data to a shared Google Doc. This will allow us to refer to it later on to refer children for other assistance during clinic time.
This is a Google Doc spreadsheet on student performance of the Common Core geometry. These are based on a one-to-one assessment session with the child. From this data, we compile groups of students for our clinics. The yellow on this sheet indicates children who had great difficulty with this particular assessment. What are these figures called? Angles, lines, line segments, or rays?
We find the one-to-one Common Core assessments to be beneficial for our co-taught classroom. The data drives our lesson planning. When we're lesson planning, we'll take a look at the data, find out where the strengths and weaknesses are, and determine how we're going to plan. We also use this to help us determine our guided math groups. Small group instruction will be driven by this data. We also have an ELL teacher that pushes in and she can look at this data and determine who needs help. We use it for screencast creation. We revisit it after completion of our clinics to see if children are doing better, and we spiral back to it months later. After we've given the Common Core assessments one-to-one, we'll give a whole class Google assessment using a Google form. Children will quickly log onto their computers, answer these 3 or 4 questions. We usually do this on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we can take the results immediately and create small guided group sessions based on this information. Here's a photograph of us working during a clinic time with a small group based on this information. While this clinic is going on, our other co-taught teacher might be working with another group. She might be doing assessment. And children can also be working on their goal sheets as we rotate around the room, helping children based on these quick Google Doc assessments. And again, we usually do these maybe once or twice a week, and it's used to create these small groups.
Clinics can be conducted with 1 teacher, 2, or in some cases, when the ELL teacher comes in, 3. We are very cognizant not to place 1 teacher in the remediation role. Here is a clinic session in progress. The concept is dividing with remainders. This is our ELL teacher working with a group of students who had difficulty with the concept.
So you got, I'm sorry, the problem is 27 divided by 4, you got 1, remainder 4. Okay, so let's do this one with our extras. We need 27. You guys count out 27.
Our general education teacher is conducting a similar clinic nearby.
Ethan, would you and Laura work together and count out 32 chips? Count out 32. Let's see. 15, 16. You count out 16 and I'll count out 16.
The special education code teacher would be circulating within the larger group or conducting a clinic as well on the other side of the room.
With 32 chips and we want to split it into 6. So what should we do?
The clinic typically lasts between 10 to 20 minutes.
So why don't we cover up to make it easier? We'll cover up because we're just splitting or dividing it in here. So do fair share. We're using all of them. We're going to go 1 divided into 6. 32 divided into 6. So you're putting 1 in each. The second round
27 chips. How many holders am I doing?
is cover up.
4. So we just cover up.
Cover it up. Or you don't
Screencasts are used in a few ways. We create them for introductions to new concepts, for our clinics, and for individual goals. They're on our eChalk page and can be accessed from home. Here is a sample goal sheet that was created for the class's yellow and red areas from the Discovery Education Assessment. We made screencast videos on those areas and uploaded them onto our eChalk page. We indicated this particular student's area of need with X's. She is to watch the screencast and then practice the corresponding problems on IXL.com that are listed on the right of the goal sheet. This can be completed in class or at home.
Here's a close-up of a child's goal sheet. To make things easier, we made one master copy. Then we simply placed X's next to the questions that a child had wrong. So if you'll notice, this child had questions 43, 55, 61, etc. And then they simply checked off when they completed IXL.
This student is watching a screencast that we have created with Notebook software and QuickTime. The video is uploaded to our eChalk page. In it, we demonstrate how to work out a problem. Then the students are given new problems, asked to pause the video, work out the problems, and then press play to check their answers. They can also use this at home.
We've found some of the benefits have been the ability to repeat and review. Children are able to go back over areas of difficulty either at home or school. They seem to really enjoy this aspect of it. Since we're a co-taught classroom, we also find the benefits for us are that one of us is able to circulate and offer assistance while one of us is working in a guided math group with a small group of children.
Teacher comes up with a screencast.
We take a Google Doc test and they see what questions we got wrong, and they make Tensmark or IXL goal sheets, and they make screencast goal sheets, and they make screencasts to see to work out problems, and they tell us to pause the video and work some problems out, and they make IXL and Tensmark goal sheets.
We take weekly timed multiplication and division tests on thatquiz.org. Once you input the tests and the answers, it grades it for you. Here's a student in the middle of taking one of the multiplication thatquiz.org tests. After the student completes the test on thatquiz.org, they are given immediate feedback. We encourage the students to screenshot this and practice the ones they got wrong.
When I see my test results, it makes me want to study more so I could get them all right. I practice math games and multiplication games, division, to help me get my scores up.
And when do you see your score? Tell me how that works.
Finish the test on the math quiz.
What comes up?
It shows all the problems you got wrong and your percentage and how many problems there are in all.
Okay, what problems are you studying now?
The 12s.
This is a goal sheet that we use periodically through the year. These sheets correspond to either Tensmark.com or IXL.com items. This is one for IXL. One side has 3rd grade and the other 4th. After the students take the Discovery Education Assessment, we look at what they need extra practice with and circle the items on this sheet. This is kept in their binders for practice at school and at home. This student is working on Tensmark and she has her goal sheet next to her. This young man is working on IXL.com and he has his corresponding goal sheet. He happens to be looking at the explanation of a problem that he got wrong.